The average person spends their life searching for comfort. They seek the path of least resistance. They want things to be easy, to be handed to them, to arrive without struggle, without hardship, without sacrifice. They believe that convenience is the measure of a good life, that comfort is the proof of success. But in doing so, they miss the greatest truth of all: convenience does not bring fulfillment. It brings stagnation. It brings weakness. It brings an illusion of progress while quietly stealing the very strength required to build destiny. Challenge, on the other hand, is the forge of greatness. It is the weight that builds your strength, the resistance that shapes your character, the obstacle that develops your power. It is through challenge that we discover who we truly are. It is through struggle that we uncover our deepest potential. And it is through persistence in the face of hardship that we experience the only kind of fulfillment that lasts. Look back through history, and you will find that every great achievement was born in challenge. The entrepreneur who built an empire faced failure, ridicule, and financial ruin before success appeared. The inventor who changed the world faced thousands of failed experiments before one idea succeeded. The leader who inspired millions faced betrayal, opposition, and relentless resistance before victory was won. None of them sought convenience. None of them chose the easy path. They embraced challenge, endured hardship, and through that process discovered the fulfillment that comes only from conquering struggle. Consider the alternative. Imagine a life without challenge, without resistance, without difficulty. Imagine everything you desire being handed to you instantly. At first, it may seem appealing, even desirable, but very quickly you would discover the emptiness of such a life. Without struggle, there is no growth. Without resistance, there is no strength. Without sacrifice, there is no meaning. Convenience robs you of the very process that makes life worth living. Fulfillment is not found in ease. It is found in victory over struggle. The man who faces his fears and overcomes them knows the exhilaration of growth. The woman who endures hardship and emerges stronger knows the pride of resilience. The individual who takes on great responsibility, who carries heavy burdens, and who triumphs despite adversity knows the deep, unshakable satisfaction of having conquered challenge. Convenience cannot give you that. It can only give you temporary pleasure, fleeting comfort, and the illusion of safety. And that illusion is dangerous, for it lulls you into a life of mediocrity. It convinces you that you are progressing when in reality you are standing still. It seduces you into believing that fulfillment is found in what is easy, when in fact, fulfillment is found only in what demands your full strength. The invisible war that builds or breaks your destiny is fought daily in this arena. Every day, you face choices between challenge and convenience. Do you rise early and discipline your mind, or do you sleep longer and surrender to ease? Do you push your body to grow stronger, or do you remain sedentary and comfortable? Do you pursue your definite purpose with persistence, or do you allow distractions and temptations to steal your focus? Each choice is a battle. Each decision is a victory or a defeat in the war for your destiny. And make no mistake, your destiny is determined not by grand moments, but by the accumulation of these daily choices. The man who consistently chooses challenge over convenience builds a character that cannot be broken, a will that cannot be bent, and a destiny that cannot be denied. The man who consistently chooses convenience over challenge weakens his will, diminishes his strength, and surrenders his destiny long before his potential is realized. Let us consider the nature of challenge. Challenge is not punishment. It is opportunity. It is life's way of calling forth your potential. Every obstacle is a hidden opportunity. Every difficulty is a disguised blessing. Every hardship is a test designed to strengthen your character, deepen your resolve, and prepare you for greater victories ahead. The man who runs from challenge runs from his own greatness. The man who embraces challenge embraces his destiny. And challenge is not selective. It comes for every man and woman, rich or poor, strong or weak, prepared or unprepared. Life does not exempt you from struggle. The question is not whether you will face challenge, but how you will respond to it. Will you shrink back in fear and choose convenience? Or will you step forward in courage and embrace the struggle as your opportunity to grow? Convenience will always offer itself as the easier path. It will whisper that you can avoid difficulty, that you can postpone effort, that you can escape responsibility. But every time you accept convenience over challenge, you lose a battle in the invisible war. You weaken your will, you surrender your strength. And though the defeat may not be visible immediately over time, it compounds into a life of mediocrity, regret, and unfulfilled potential. On the other hand, every time you embrace challenge, you strengthen your will. You fortify your character. You grow in confidence, in resilience, and in power. Over time, these victories compound into a life of greatness, achievement, and true fulfillment. The man who embraces challenge becomes unstoppable. The woman who embraces challenge becomes unbreakable. True fulfillment is not found in what life gives you, but in what you conquer. It is not found in the possessions you accumulate, but in the battles you fight and win. It is not found in the ease of convenience, but in the triumph of overcoming what once seemed impossible. The fulfillment you seek lies on the other side of struggle. Now let us examine why challenge produces fulfillment. Challenge demands the full use of your faculties. It forces you to stretch beyond your current capacity. It awakens abilities you did not know you had. It compels you to focus, to grow, to adapt, and to rise. In doing so, it provides the deep satisfaction of progress. Progress is the heartbeat of fulfillment. The man who knows he is growing, improving, advancing, and overcoming is the man who knows true fulfillment. Convenience offers none of this. Convenience asks nothing of you. It requires no growth, no sacrifice, no effort. And because it asks nothing, it gives nothing. The man who chooses convenience may feel pleasure for a moment, but soon that pleasure fades, replaced by a knowing emptiness. Deep down, he knows he has avoided his true potential. Deep down, he knows he has surrendered to weakness. Deep down, he knows he has lost the battle. True fulfillment is not cheap. It is not instant. It is not easy. It is earned through struggle, through hardship, through persistence in the face of resistance. It is earned by those who embrace challenge with courage and determination. And it is denied to those who run from struggle, who seek convenience, who surrender to ease. This is why the invisible war that builds or breaks your destiny is so vital. Every man and woman must fight it. You cannot escape it. You cannot avoid it. You cannot delegate it. It is your war and yours alone. The weapons are discipline, persistence, courage, and faith. The enemies are fear, doubt, distraction, and the seductive lure of convenience. Victory is not granted to the strongest, nor to the most talented, nor to the most fortunate. Victory is granted to the one who chooses challenge over convenience, day after day, year after year. Consider again the great achievers of history. They did not seek convenience. They did not run from challenge. They embraced it, endured it, and ultimately triumphed because of it. Their fulfillment was not found in comfort, but in conquest. Their satisfaction was not found in ease, but in endurance. Their legacies were not built on convenience, but on challenge embraced and overcome. And so, if you seek true fulfillment, do not ask for life to be easy. Do not pray for convenience. Do not wish for comfort. Instead, seek challenge. Pray for strength to endure it. Wish for the courage to embrace it. For in that challenge lies the fulfillment you desire, the growth you need, and the destiny you are meant to fulfill. Remember always that life will test you. It will present challenges that seem overwhelming. It will confront you with obstacles that appear insurmountable. It will tempt you with the comfort of convenience. In those moments, you must decide. Will you fight or will you surrender? Will you embrace challenge or will you choose ease? Will you win the invisible war or will you allow it to break your destiny? The choice is always yours. Every day, every hour, every moment, the battle continues. Fulfillment waits on the side of challenge. Emptiness waits on the side of convenience. Greatness is reserved for those who fight. Regret is the inheritance of those who surrender. True fulfillment comes not from what is given to you, but from what you earn. It comes not from what is easy, but from what is hard. It comes not from what is comfortable, but from what is challenging. It comes from the battle itself, from the struggle, from the sacrifice, from the persistence that carries you through difficulty to victory. It comes from knowing that you did not surrender, that you did not take the easy way, that you did not waste your potential in the pursuit of convenience. And the truth is this: every man and woman is capable of such fulfillment. Every man and woman is capable of such greatness, but only those who embrace challenge will find it. Only those who fight the invisible war with discipline and persistence will win it. Only those who resist the seductive call of convenience will discover the fulfillment they were created to experience. Convenience creates weakness. Challenge creates strength. This is not just a clever arrangement of words. It is a law as real as gravity, as unavoidable as night following day. Life, in its essence, is designed as a battlefield. And on this battlefield, every man and woman is faced with the choice between two paths: the path of convenience, smooth and appealing to the senses, or the path of challenge, steep, rugged, and demanding of your every ounce of courage and willpower. Consider for a moment the nature of convenience. What is convenience but the avoidance of effort? It is the shortcut, the easy meal, the soft bed, the decision not to push when life asks for more. It feels good in the moment, yes, but convenience carries a hidden price, a slow erosion of strength, discipline, and inner power. It lulls you into a false sense of security. It whispers, rest, you deserve it. Avoid the hard path, there will be time later. And many listen to that whisper until they wake one day to discover that their muscles have weakened, their will has faded, and their dreams have withered away in the shadows of compromise. Now look at challenge. Challenge does not whisper, it roars. Challenge stands tall in front of you, unbending and immovable. It dares you. It provokes you. It demands effort, sacrifice, and persistence. It does not ask for what you are comfortable giving. It takes from you everything you thought you could not give, and in doing so, reveals that you were capable of far more than you ever imagined. Challenge is life's way of carving strength into the stone of your soul. You see, convenience offers you temporary comfort, but it robs you of permanent growth. Challenge denies you comfort in the present, but it rewards you with strength, resilience, and fulfillment in the future. And here lies the great irony: those who seek convenience end up living lives of discomfort in the long run, financial struggle, broken health, lack of purpose, and regret. While those who embrace challenge discover a deeper comfort, the comfort that comes not from ease, but from knowing that they have mastered themselves and their circumstances. Think of the strongest oak tree. It does not grow strong in calm weather alone. It grows strong when the winds batter it, when the storms bend it, when the seasons strip it bare. Every challenge it faces forces its roots deeper into the earth, and every storm that passes makes it unshakable. In the same way, every challenge you face deepens your character, strengthens your resolve, and prepares you to stand tall when others fall. Convenience, on the other hand, is like the greenhouse plant, shielded from the wind, watered with ease, protected from struggle. It looks alive. It may even look beautiful, but it lacks the strength to stand in the real world. The moment it is taken outside and exposed to the forces of nature, it withers and dies. And so it is with the person who lives only for convenience. They may look fine on the surface, but when life's inevitable storms arrive, they collapse under the weight. The world around you is filled with evidence of this truth. Look at the person who seeks only convenience in health. They avoid the pain of exercise. They indulge in easy foods. They refuse the discipline of sacrifice. What is the result? Weakness, illness, fatigue, a body that betrays them when they need it most. Contrast this with the person who embraces the challenge of discipline and health. They rise early to train. They resist the temptation of indulgence. They endure the burn of effort. The result is strength, energy, vitality, and a body that serves them in every pursuit of life. The same law applies to wealth. Convenience in money says, spend now, worry later. Take the easy loan, chase the quick win, avoid the hard work. And what is the result? Chains of debt, financial struggle, a life of dependency. Challenge in money, however, demands patience, discipline, sacrifice. It asks you to work diligently, save consistently, invest wisely, and resist the lure of instant gratification. The result? Freedom, independence, abundance. Relationships follow the same law. Convenience in relationships says, avoid difficult conversations. Don't put in effort. Seek only what is easy and pleasing. But this leads to shallow connections, broken bonds, and loneliness. Challenge in relationships requires honesty, effort, forgiveness, patience. It demands that you grow, that you give, that you put another's needs before your own at times. And the result is a depth of connection, a richness of love, a sense of fulfillment that convenience can never provide. And what of the greatest battlefield of all? The battlefield of the mind. Convenience here is the most dangerous of all. It whispers. Don't think deeply. Don't reflect. Don't challenge your own assumptions. Don't discipline your thoughts. And the result is weakness of spirit, a life lived on autopilot, a destiny controlled by circumstance rather than choice. Challenge of the mind, however, is the deliberate pursuit of growth, the constant questioning of yourself, the refusal to accept mediocrity in thought or in vision. It is the practice of reading, learning, reflecting, imagining. The result is a mind that becomes the architect of its own destiny, a mind that can create worlds, solve problems, and command life rather than be commanded by it. Now, I want you to reflect on your own life. Where has convenience created weakness? Where have you allowed the easy road to rob you of strength? Be honest with yourself. The invisible war for your destiny is fought not in dramatic battles, but in the quiet, daily choices you make. Every time you choose convenience over challenge, you surrender a piece of your power. And every time you choose challenge over convenience, you forge strength, brick by brick, into the foundation of your character. Understand this challenge is not your enemy. It is your ally, your trainer, your greatest teacher. The most successful, the most fulfilled, the most powerful individuals did not get there by avoiding challenge. They got there by embracing it. They understood that the path to greatness is not paved with comfort, but with discomfort, sacrifice, and perseverance. Consider the story of every great inventor, leader, or creator. Their journeys are not tales of convenience. They are tales of endless nights, repeated failures, constant rejection, and setbacks that would have crushed the ordinary person. What kept them moving forward was the embrace of challenge. They knew that every obstacle was shaping them, every failure was refining them, every hardship was building in them a strength that no convenience could ever offer. Challenge does not diminish you. It enlarges you. It stretches the limits of what you thought possible. It takes you to places within yourself that you would never discover if life were always easy. Think of the climber on the mountain. It is not the flat plain that strengthens his legs, but the steep ascent. It is not the comfort of the valley that tests his lungs, but the thin air of the peak. And it is not the easy path that fills him with fulfillment, but the challenge of reaching the summit. And yet many shrink from challenge. They run from it as though it were an enemy to be avoided. But in avoiding challenge, they avoid the very thing that would have made them strong enough to win their destiny. They forget that the war for greatness is not fought in moments of ease, but in the crucible of difficulty. They forget that convenience is the silent killer of dreams. The greatest tragedy is not failure. The greatest tragedy is never having lived fully because convenience kept you trapped in mediocrity. To live only for convenience is to live half alive, to exist without truly experiencing the power, the fulfillment, the joy that comes only through overcoming. The question before you is this: which will you choose? Will you take the path of convenience, smooth and easy but leading to weakness? Or will you take the path of challenge, rugged and demanding but leading to strength, fulfillment, and greatness? Every day life gives you this choice. When the alarm rings in the morning, convenience whispers, sleep longer, while challenge demands, rise and begin. When faced with a task that stretches you, convenience suggests procrastination, while challenge demands action. When obstacles appear, convenience urges you to quit, while challenge insists you persist. It is in these moments, small, ordinary, invisible to the world, that your destiny is decided, not in some grand event, not in some dramatic scene, but in the quiet, consistent choice to embrace challenge over convenience. And here lies the paradox of life. The more you choose challenge, the more convenient life becomes. The stronger you grow, the easier it is to face hardship. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you enjoy. The more you embrace discomfort, the more comfort you find within yourself. But the more you choose convenience, the harder life becomes. Weakness leads to struggle, avoidance leads to regret, and comfort leads to chains. So embrace challenge, seek it. Do not wait for it to come to you. Create it. Push yourself to grow when you don't have to. Do what is difficult, not because it is easy, but because it will make you strong. For convenience creates weakness, but challenge creates strength, and strength is the currency with which destiny is purchased. Life is an invisible battle. Most men and women go through their days as though life is a sequence of random events, unaware that every choice, every decision, every thought and action is part of a larger war. This battle is invisible because it is fought within the mind, in the heart, and through the habits that form the foundation of every life. And yet, it is decisive, determining whether a person rises to greatness or drifts into mediocrity. The battlefield is not outside you, it is within. Every decision you make is a soldier in the invisible war for your destiny. Every thought you allow to dominate your mind is a general directing the course of your life. Every habit you form is an army, either fighting to build your potential or tearing it down. Those who fail in life do not recognize the war, and therefore they surrender without even knowing it. They blame circumstance, luck, or other people for the outcomes of their lives, yet the truth is that the battle was lost long before the result appeared in the world outside. The first truth to understand is this: decisions matter. They matter more than talent, more than opportunity, more than luck. A man or woman who understands the power of daily decisions gains control over life itself. Every day presents choices, and every choice is either a step toward building your destiny or a step toward weakening your position. Small, seemingly insignificant decisions accumulate over time to determine your character, your opportunities, and the fulfillment you will experience. The invisible battle is fought on multiple fronts. First, there is the front of fear. Fear manifests in many ways: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, fear of making mistakes. It whispers lies to the mind, telling you that caution is safety, that hesitation is wisdom, and that retreat is survival. But the truth is that fear is a cunning enemy, a subtle saboteur that paralyzes action and erodes potential. Every decision made out of fear, rather than courage, weakens the soldier and strengthens the enemy. The disciplined mind recognizes fear for what it is and chooses to act in spite of it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to make the right decision even when fear is present. Second, the front of doubt. Doubt is the fog that clouds judgment and obscures vision. It convinces the mind that success is unlikely, that efforts are futile, and that persistence is pointless. Doubt is often disguised as reason or practicality, and it is remarkably persuasive. But the man who wins the invisible battle learns to recognize doubt as a false messenger. He gathers evidence of his past successes, recalls lessons learned, and consults the principles of achievement. Then, despite doubt, he makes the decision to move forward, understanding that hesitation is the enemy of progress. Third, the front of distraction. In our world, distraction is everywhere. Every day, countless interruptions, trivialities, and temptations seek to pull your attention away from what is truly important. The undisciplined mind surrenders immediately, moving from one trivial concern to another, leaving vital goals unfinished and potential unrealized. The disciplined mind, however, resists distraction. It prioritizes actions that build toward a definite purpose and refuses to allow the trivial to determine the course of life. Focus is a weapon in this invisible war, and decisions to concentrate on what matters create momentum that no obstacle can stop. Another front is the battle against laziness and convenience. The human mind naturally seeks ease. The path of least resistance is always tempting. It lures men and women into comfort zones that feel safe but accomplish nothing. Convenience is seductive because it provides immediate gratification, but it is deceptive. Every decision made for comfort rather than purpose weakens willpower, erodes character, and diminishes potential. True fulfillment and lasting success are never found on the path of least resistance. They are earned through effort, through endurance, and through the repeated decision to embrace challenge over convenience. The invisible battle is continuous. It is fought not in great moments alone, but in the countless small decisions that fill every day. Will you rise early to work on your goals, or will you sleep longer? Will you persist in your studies, your craft, or your work, or will you indulge in entertainment and distraction? Will you speak words of encouragement, or will you succumb to negativity? Will you act with integrity even when no one is watching, or will you compromise for convenience? Every such choice is a skirmish, and every accumulation of choices determines whether you win or lose the larger battle for your destiny. Discipline is the cornerstone weapon in this war. It is the ability to make decisions not according to fleeting desire, emotion, or comfort, but according to long-term purpose. Discipline allows you to align daily actions with your ultimate goals, to resist temptation, and to maintain focus when the mind naturally drifts toward ease. A single disciplined decision may seem small, but repeated day after day, it compounds into remarkable achievement. Every act of discipline is a victory, and every victory reinforces the mind, strengthens willpower, and builds momentum. Persistence is the shield that allows victory to endure. The invisible battle is not won in a single day. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. There will be people who oppose you, circumstances that frustrate you, and opportunities that appear to slip away. Persistence ensures that you continue to act, continue to make the right decisions, and continue to pursue your definite purpose regardless of temporary results. Persistence turns resistance into progress and struggle into strength. Another principle is definiteness of purpose. Decisions without purpose are wasted energy. Every soldier in an army must know the objective, otherwise, energy is scattered and the battle is lost. When you have a clear and definite purpose, every decision gains focus and meaning. Each action becomes intentional, each choice deliberate, and each effort aligned with the ultimate goal. The man who makes decisions without purpose drifts like a leaf in the wind. The man who makes decisions with purpose moves like a general commanding an army. Endurance is forged in the crucible of repeated decision-making. Life will test you. It will present obstacles that seem insurmountable, challenges that appear unfair, and circumstances that seem hostile. How you respond in these moments defines you. Will you make the easy choice or the right choice? Will you retreat in fear or advance in courage? Will you indulge in comfort or persist in discipline? The answers to these questions, made consistently over time, create character, build resilience, and determine whether your destiny is fulfilled or broken. Consider the stories of the great achievers. They did not achieve greatness because conditions were perfect or because luck favored them. They achieved greatness because they made the right decisions consistently, even when the easier path beckoned. Andrew Carnegie faced failure and doubt, but chose to persevere. Thomas Edison encountered thousands of failed experiments, but chose to continue testing. Henry Ford faced ridicule and obstacles, but chose to move forward in accordance with his vision. Each of these decisions, repeated day after day, compound into the monumental success we remember today. It is also important to recognize that the invisible battle is highly personal. No one else can fight it for you. You can receive advice, mentorship, or guidance, but ultimately the responsibility rests entirely on your shoulders. Every thought you entertain, every habit you form, every action you take is your decision alone. You are both the general and the soldier in this war. Your victories and defeats belong to no one else but you. Habits are the soldiers in this battle. Good habits reinforce success, bad habits reinforce failure. The decisions you make today create habits, and those habits determine future outcomes. Small acts of courage, discipline, and persistence become a framework for achieving extraordinary results. Small acts of laziness, indulgence, and surrender compound into mediocrity. The accumulation of choices is the invisible engine that drives destiny. The mind is the battlefield. You must guard it. Negative thoughts, doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs are the enemy forces that seek to occupy your mental territory. Positive thoughts, clear goals, and disciplined action are the counterforces that secure your stronghold. Every decision you make either strengthens your position or weakens it. Vigilance is required. Awareness of the invisible battle is required. Understanding that your mind is both the battleground and the general is required. Life rewards those who understand the power of choice. Fortune gravitates to the individual who acts with deliberate purpose, resists distraction, embraces challenge, and persists in the face of difficulty. Opportunity appears when preparation meets the right moment, but preparation is built one decision at a time. No one becomes ready for success without first making countless decisions that align with growth, learning, and action. Failures are inevitable in life, but they are not final. Each failure represents a moment where a decision could have been different, and each lesson learned strengthens the soldier in the invisible war. The man who reflects on failure, learns from it, and adjusts his future decisions becomes more powerful with every setback. The man who refuses to learn from failure allows it to weaken his mind, erode his confidence, and limit his potential. The invisible battle is also cumulative. One decision alone may seem insignificant, but repeated over time, decisions compound into destiny. Early mornings, consistent effort, disciplined choices, refusal to indulge in trivial pleasures, focus on long-term goals. All of these decisions, small and deliberate, accumulate into extraordinary results. Conversely, small indulgences, repeated distractions, and surrender to convenience compound into lost opportunities and unrealized potential. The choice between challenge and convenience, action and inaction, courage and fear is made countless times every day. The man who wins the invisible battle makes the right choice consistently. He does not rely on luck. He does not rely on circumstance. He relies on principles, on discipline, on persistence, and on the unwavering commitment to act in alignment with his purpose. In this battle, self-mastery is the ultimate weapon. Mastery over your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits allows you to act decisively, consistently, and effectively. The soldier who masters himself does not surrender to fear, doubt, distraction, or temptation. He acts with intention, moves with purpose, and endures with courage. Without self-mastery, no other principle can ensure victory in the invisible war. True fulfillment lies on the other side of struggle. It is not found in comfort. It is not found in ease. It is not found in the simple passing of time or the accumulation of possessions. Fulfillment is the reward of the soul that has endured, the mind that has persevered, and the heart that has remained steadfast in the face of adversity. It is the outcome of battle, not avoidance, the fruit of effort, not idleness, and the consequence of courage, not cowardice. Most people spend their lives avoiding struggle. They seek the path of least resistance. They hope for success without sacrifice, happiness without hardship, and achievement without effort. They are drawn to convenience as if it were the source of life itself. They believe that ease is a sign of favor, that comfort is a measure of their worth, and that avoiding difficulty will keep them safe. But life does not work this way. Life does not reward avoidance. Life does not honor passivity. Fulfillment is reserved for those who engage the challenges of existence and emerge stronger on the other side. Struggle is not a punishment. It is a teacher. It is the training ground of the soul, the forge of character, and the crucible of destiny. Every hardship you face, every obstacle in your path, every moment that tests your courage is designed not to defeat you, but to awaken you. It is in struggle that you discover the hidden reservoirs of strength within yourself, the untapped reserves of resilience that you never knew existed. The man who has never struggled cannot know the true measure of his own capacity. The woman who has never faced adversity cannot comprehend the depth of her own power. Look around you at the lives of those who have achieved greatness. They did not arrive at their success by chance. They did not inherit it, nor was it given freely. Every one of them faced trials, endured hardship, and overcame resistance. Andrew Carnegie faced financial ruin and countless failures before he built his steel empire. Thomas Edison tested thousands of materials before discovering the filament that would light the world. Helen Keller faced the darkness of silence and blindness, yet became a voice for millions. Each of these individuals understood a principle that most people ignore. Fulfillment does not reside in comfort. It resides on the other side of struggle. Consider the nature of struggle itself. Struggle comes in many forms: financial difficulty, health challenges, emotional turmoil, personal setbacks, professional obstacles. Each presents a unique test. Each demands endurance, creativity, and courage. Each challenges the mind, body, and spirit. And yet, each is an opportunity, a chance to grow, to learn, to refine your character, and to move closer to the life you are capable of living. Struggle is the mirror in which you see your true self. When life is easy, you are rarely tested. You may feel satisfied, but it is often a shallow satisfaction, a fleeting sense of accomplishment that does not endure. But when struggle arises, your values, your beliefs, your determination, and your courage are revealed. In those moments, you are forced to confront your limitations and to surpass them. You are forced to become more than you were yesterday, to think beyond the ordinary, and to act beyond the average. It is in struggle that transformation occurs. And transformation is the essence of fulfillment. Fulfillment is not the accumulation of wealth, status, or recognition. These are external and fleeting. True fulfillment comes from internal victory, the triumph over fear, the conquest of doubt, the persistence in the face of fatigue, and the unwavering pursuit of a higher purpose. The man who achieves fulfillment has endured struggle and emerged with a mind strengthened, a heart hardened by resilience, and a spirit elevated by courage. There is a hidden law in life that few understand. The greater the struggle, the greater the fulfillment. Nature herself operates on this principle. The seed must break through the soil before it can grow. The diamond is formed under immense pressure. The river carves its path through solid rock by persistence against resistance. The universe rewards effort, endurance, and tenacity, not avoidance, ease, or idleness. You may ask, why must struggle be necessary for fulfillment? The answer is simply: struggle is the measure of your potential. It is the test of your character. It separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Without struggle, your abilities remain dormant, your courage untested, and your destiny unclaimed. The challenges you face are not obstacles to avoid. They are invitations to grow, opportunities to demonstrate the strength that lies within you, and the vehicle by which true fulfillment is delivered. Every struggle carries a lesson. Every hardship carries a secret gift. Every challenge carries the possibility of revelation. The man who perceives struggle merely as misfortune will suffer unnecessarily. The man who perceives struggle as a teacher will gain wisdom, resilience, and insight. The woman who embraces hardship as opportunity will emerge stronger, more capable, and more fulfilled than she ever imagined. Fulfillment is always linked to the ability to see beyond the immediate discomfort, to understand that struggle is temporary, and to act decisively despite it. Discipline is essential in this process. Without discipline, struggle can overwhelm. Without discipline, fear, doubt, and distraction may lead you to surrender. Discipline allows you to master your mind, to control your impulses, to focus on your goals, and to take the necessary steps even when the path is difficult. It is the bridge that connects struggle to fulfillment. Every act of discipline, every hour spent persevering, every sacrifice made in the pursuit of purpose, strengthens your ability to transform struggle into triumph. Persistence is the companion of discipline. Struggle rarely ends quickly. It tests your endurance, your patience, and your resolve. The individual who gives up at the first sign of difficulty will never know fulfillment. The individual who persists, who continues to act in alignment with purpose, who endures, adapts, and overcomes, will find fulfillment waiting on the other side. Persistence is the engine that drives you through struggle, and fulfillment is the reward at the journey's end. Faith, too, is required. Faith in yourself, faith in your purpose, and faith in the principle that struggle is a necessary part of growth. Without faith, the hardships of life can seem insurmountable. Without faith, the invisible battle can appear endless and hopeless. But faith allows you to endure, to believe in the unseen, and to act with confidence even when results are not immediately visible. Faith transforms struggle from a source of fear into a source of strength. The invisible war that builds or breaks your destiny is waged in the choices you make when confronted with struggle. Will you shrink in fear or rise in courage? Will you surrender to convenience or embrace challenge? Will you allow doubt to paralyze you or let determination guide you forward? Every decision, every moment of action or inaction contributes to the outcome of your life. True fulfillment is reserved for those who repeatedly choose to confront struggle with courage, persistence, and purpose. It is also important to understand that struggle is not a one-time event. Life is not a single battle, but a series of ongoing conflicts. You will encounter challenges again and again in many forms throughout your existence. Some will be minor, some monumental. Some will test your patience, others your strength, your intellect, or your integrity. Each struggle is a step along the path to fulfillment. The man or woman who learns to meet each challenge with courage, to endure each hardship with perseverance, and to learn from every difficulty will find that fulfillment becomes a natural outcome of living with purpose and strength. Now consider the emotional dimension of struggle. Struggle brings discomfort, fear, doubt, and frustration. It challenges your ego, tests your patience, and often demands that you endure humiliation, loss, or disappointment. Many flee from these experiences, believing that fulfillment must be painless, immediate, and convenient. But the truth is that fulfillment is inseparable from struggle precisely because struggle demands your best, challenges your limits, and reveals your true potential. Without discomfort, growth is impossible. Without challenge, fulfillment cannot exist. There is also a social dimension to struggle. The relationships you build, the communities you influence, and the lives you touch are all shaped by the way you confront difficulty. The man who demonstrates courage in hardship becomes a model, an inspiration, and a source of guidance for others. The woman who persists despite obstacles influences those around her, creating ripples of strength and resilience that extend far beyond herself. Fulfillment is not only a personal reward, it is a contribution to the world. Struggle, when faced with integrity and courage, allows you to leave a legacy that endures. Let us also consider the intellectual dimension. Struggle forces you to think, to adapt, to innovate, and to solve problems that cannot be ignored. The mind that faces challenges grows sharper, more strategic, more capable. Knowledge acquired in comfort is often superficial. But wisdom gained through struggle is deep and lasting. Fulfillment is intimately connected to the development of your mind. The more complex the challenge, the greater the opportunity for intellectual growth, and the richer the fulfillment that results. And finally, there is the spiritual dimension. Struggle awakens the soul. It teaches patience, humility, gratitude, and perseverance. It reveals the power of faith, the strength of hope, and the depth of courage. The person who embraces struggle with purpose comes to understand that life is not about avoiding difficulty, but about finding meaning in it. Spiritual fulfillment is inseparable from the experience of challenge, because it is through struggle that the human spirit is tested, refined, and elevated. The individual who understands these truths never despairs in hardship. He or she recognizes struggle as a necessary companion on the path to fulfillment. He or she does not measure life by ease or comfort, but by the strength gained, the lessons learned, and the victories earned. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to grow, each obstacle a stepping stone, each failure a lesson, each triumph a confirmation of purpose. So remember always that struggle is not the enemy. It is the vehicle of fulfillment. Convenience is the illusion, the trap, the false comfort that leads to stagnation and regret. The man or woman who seeks fulfillment must be willing to endure discomfort, to face fear, to overcome doubt, and to persist despite every obstacle. Fulfillment is earned, and it is earned only by those who embrace struggle as the pathway to greatness. Every step, every choice, every act of courage in the face of challenge, every sacrifice made in pursuit of purpose compounds over time. The invisible victories that occur in private, when no one is watching, when success is not yet evident, these are the moments that determine the magnitude of your fulfillment. True joy and satisfaction arise not from the ease of life, but from the victories gained through effort, persistence, and the courage to face what others avoid. Your destiny, your sense of purpose, and your experience of life itself are forged in the fires of struggle. To deny struggle is to deny your own potential. To avoid challenge is to deny the life that is waiting for you on the other side of adversity. To embrace struggle is to embrace the very essence of fulfillment, growth, and the achievement of your highest self. Every man and woman encounters challenges. There is no escaping them. There is no avoiding difficulty. There is no short path that will bypass the obstacles and lead you directly to fulfillment, success, and greatness. Those who believe there is a shortcut are deceived. The world does not reward the timid, nor the fortunate, nor the lucky in any permanent sense. It rewards the prepared. And preparation, my friends, comes from challenge. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is how they perceive challenge. One man sees an obstacle and says, "Why is this happening to me? This is unfair." Another man sees the exact same obstacle and says, "This is my opportunity to grow. This is my opportunity to learn. This is my chance to prepare for something greater." One retreats, shrinks, or surrenders. The other advances, adapts, and endures. That is the invisible war that builds or breaks your destiny, and the battlefield is your own mind. Consider the nature of preparation. Preparation is the process by which you equip yourself to achieve something higher than you have ever achieved before. It is the process of strengthening your mind, refining your skills, and developing the discipline necessary to confront circumstances that might otherwise overwhelm you. And the only way to prepare is through challenge. You cannot grow stronger by avoiding resistance. You cannot sharpen your mind by staying idle. You cannot achieve mastery by seeking comfort. Every challenge you face is designed to prepare you for the next stage of your journey. It is deliberate. It is purposeful. And yet, most people do not recognize it. They see the struggle, the difficulty, the discomfort, and they assume it is punishment. They assume it is unfair. But nothing could be further from the truth. Challenge is not a penalty. It is a teacher. It is life's way of ensuring that you develop the qualities you will need to succeed. Discipline, for example, is forged in challenge. The man who must rise early to work while the world sleeps, who must sacrifice comfort for progress, who must resist temptation and stay focused on a higher goal, develops discipline through the very resistance he faces. Without the challenge of delayed gratification, discipline is impossible. Without challenge, there is only ease, indulgence, and mediocrity. And without discipline, no one can achieve lasting success. Persistence is another quality developed only through challenge. When the road is smooth and the path is clear, persistence is not tested. It is only when obstacles appear, when failure threatens, when the mind and body cry for rest, that true persistence is revealed. And it is precisely at these moments, when the struggle is hardest, that preparation occurs. Every setback, every obstacle, every difficulty you endure builds endurance, fortifies your spirit, and equips you with the strength to persist when others surrender. Challenge also teaches wisdom. There is no substitute for experience. You cannot gain understanding through comfort alone. You cannot develop insight without grappling with the consequences of your actions. Every challenge presents a situation that demands thought, analysis, and adaptation. It forces you to consider your options, evaluate risks, and make decisions under pressure. These experiences, accumulated over time, create wisdom, the kind of practical knowledge that no book, no teacher, and no theory can fully provide. And then there is character. Character is built not when life is easy, but when life is difficult. Character is shaped in adversity. Every time you confront a challenge with integrity, courage, and perseverance, you strengthen the moral and mental foundation that will support all future achievements. Every temptation resisted, every fear faced, every hardship endured is a brick in the foundation of your character. And without a strong foundation, any structure you attempt to build will crumble. Challenge is also a revealer of potential. Most people live their lives never realizing what they are truly capable of because they avoid situations that test their limits. They never push themselves beyond what is convenient. But it is in the crucible of difficulty that hidden abilities are revealed. The human mind and body are capable of far more than most people imagine. The only way to discover this is to face challenges that demand more than you think you can give, and then to rise to meet them. Consider the examples of the great men and women of history. They did not succeed because their lives were easy. They did not achieve their greatness because circumstances were convenient. They succeeded because they embraced challenge, endured hardship, and allowed adversity to prepare them for extraordinary achievement. They learned from failure, adapted to obstacles, and used every difficulty as a stepping stone toward mastery. In essence, their challenges were their preparation for destiny. Let us also consider the invisible nature of this preparation. Much of the preparation that comes from challenge is unseen. It occurs in the mind, in the heart, in habits, in attitudes, and in persistence. You may not notice the growth immediately. You may not feel stronger or wiser the moment you face a difficulty. But over time, the accumulation of challenges, the repeated exposure to struggle, and the disciplined response to adversity compounds into a force that transforms your life. Preparation is not always visible, but it is always real. Another important truth is that challenge is unavoidable. You cannot choose a life without struggle. You cannot avoid obstacles, pain, or resistance. The question is not whether you will face challenges, but how you will respond to them. Will you see them as punishment and shrink, or will you see them as preparation and rise? The answer to this question determines whether your destiny is built or broken. Challenge is also the path to fulfillment. The satisfaction of life is not found in ease. It is not found in comfort. It is not found in the convenience of avoiding struggle. True fulfillment comes from knowing that you have confronted difficulties, overcome obstacles, and emerged stronger, wiser, and more capable. Fulfillment comes from effort applied to meaningful purpose. Fulfillment comes from preparation, and preparation comes from challenge. Every difficulty you face is a rehearsal for future victories. Every obstacle is a training ground. Every failure is a lesson in resilience, patience, and adaptation. The man who understands this approaches challenges with gratitude rather than resentment. He welcomes obstacles, knowing that each one is an opportunity to grow, to prepare, and to strengthen himself for the destiny that awaits. It is also important to recognize that challenge is not merely external. Much of the struggle occurs within the mind. Fear, doubt, indecision, laziness, and distraction are the invisible enemies that threaten to derail your progress. The battle against these internal forces is just as real, just as critical as any external struggle. And the way you respond to these internal challenges determines the strength you bring to every other area of life. Preparation through challenge also builds confidence. There is no substitute for experience proven under pressure. The man who has faced difficulties, overcome obstacles, and endured hardship develops an inner assurance that cannot be shaken. Confidence is the product of preparation, and preparation is forged in challenge. The more challenges you face and overcome, the more capable and empowered you become. Challenge also cultivates vision. When life is easy, the mind tends to focus on the immediate, the convenient, and the safe. But when you face difficulty, you are forced to see beyond the present moment, to anticipate consequences, and to plan strategically. Every challenge requires foresight, problem solving, and creativity. Through repeated exposure to adversity, your vision expands and your capacity for leadership grows. And let us not forget the role of challenge in building resilience. Resilience is the ability to withstand shocks, to recover from setbacks, and to continue moving forward despite obstacles. It is a quality that cannot be developed in comfort. It is learned only through the repeated testing of your limits. Each challenge endured is a lesson in resilience. Each obstacle overcome is a reinforcement of your capacity to endure. And it is resilience that allows you to continue when others would quit, to persist when others would surrender, and to succeed when others fail. Challenge also teaches humility and perspective. When life is difficult, you are reminded of your limitations, of the fact that you cannot control everything, and that circumstances often demand adaptation. This humility tempers arrogance, promotes learning, and strengthens character. At the same time, the victories you achieve through challenge give perspective on your own capabilities, the value of effort, and the meaning of persistence. Furthermore, challenge is the forge of leadership. No one becomes a great leader without having been tested, without having faced adversity, without having learned to make decisions under pressure. Every challenge you face prepares you to guide others, to inspire them, and to lead by example. Leadership is not learned in comfort. It is forged in the fires of struggle. And so, every challenge is a deliberate opportunity for preparation. Life does not punish you. Life equips you. Every obstacle is a tool. Every failure is a lesson. Every difficulty is a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. The man or woman who embraces challenge understands that fulfillment, success, and destiny are achieved not by avoiding struggle, but by enduring it, learning from it, and allowing it to prepare them for the greater responsibilities that lie ahead. Your mind, your body, your habits, your skills, all are strengthened through challenge. Without challenge, none of these qualities develop. Without challenge, the mind becomes weak, the body becomes complacent, and the spirit becomes fragile. Convenience does not produce greatness. Only the persistent engagement with difficulty, the deliberate acceptance of challenge, and the consistent effort to overcome obstacles can build the qualities necessary for lasting achievement. Remember, too, that challenge is cumulative. One struggle prepares you for the next. One obstacle strengthens you for the future. One failure teaches a lesson that becomes an advantage the next time. The process of preparation through challenge is continuous. It never stops. The more you engage with it, the more capable you become, the stronger you become, the closer you move toward fulfilling your destiny. And the reward for embracing challenge is not merely the acquisition of skill or knowledge. It is the transformation of the individual. Challenge molds your character, strengthens your mind, sharpens your judgment, deepens your resolve, and awakens your potential. It prepares you to face the unknown, to seize opportunity, and to achieve greatness beyond what you once imagined possible. This is why challenge is not punishment. It is preparation. Every obstacle, every hardship, every moment of difficulty, every trial that life places before you is not a curse but a gift. It is an opportunity to grow, to develop strength, to learn lessons, to build resilience, to cultivate wisdom, and to prepare for destiny. Those who recognize this truth will face challenges with courage and enthusiasm. Those who ignore it will face them with fear and resentment. And the difference between these two approaches determines the outcome of the invisible war for your life. The invisible war is fought every day in every choice you make. Will you step forward into challenge, knowing it is preparation for greatness? Or will you retreat into convenience, sacrificing growth for comfort? Will you embrace the lessons hidden in difficulty? Or will you ignore them and hope for an easier path? The answers to these questions shape your destiny. Preparation through challenge also builds patience. Growth does not happen instantly. Mastery does not come overnight. The man who embraces challenge understands that each obstacle, each difficulty, each moment of hardship is part of a longer process. Patience is required, endurance is necessary, and persistence is essential. And through this patient engagement with challenge, preparation occurs steadily, inevitably, and powerfully. Challenge also teaches adaptability. No two difficulties are exactly alike. Each problem demands a new approach, a new perspective, and a flexible mind. The man who faces challenge learns to think strategically, to act decisively, and to adapt rapidly. These skills, developed in the crucible of difficulty, become indispensable tools in achieving every significant goal. And as preparation builds through challenge, so does confidence. The more difficulties you face and overcome, the more confident you become in your own abilities. Confidence is not a gift, it is earned. It is the natural outcome of repeated success in the face of adversity. Confidence fuels further action, further persistence, and further preparation, creating a self-reinforcing cycle that propels you forward toward your ultimate destiny. Challenge also develops courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act despite fear. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to exercise courage. Each act of bravery strengthens your inner resolve. Over time, courage becomes habitual. You no longer flee from difficulty. You approach it deliberately, knowing that it is preparation for the victories yet to come. The culmination of preparation through challenge is mastery. Mastery of skills, mastery of self, mastery of circumstances. Mastery is not achieved through comfort. It is not gained by convenience. It is forged through engagement with difficulty, through deliberate effort, and through persistent application of knowledge and action. The individual who embraces challenge develops the mastery necessary to achieve greatness in any endeavor. And so, let this truth resonate deeply. Challenge is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the means by which life equips you to achieve your destiny. It is the teacher that reveals your potential. It is the forge that strengthens your character. It is the path to fulfillment, mastery, and lasting achievement. Every challenge you face is deliberate. Every obstacle is purposeful. Every hardship is designed to prepare you for the opportunities that lie ahead, for the victories that await, and for the person you are destined to become. Those who understand this truth face difficulty with courage, embrace adversity with determination, and persist relentlessly in the pursuit of growth. And the invisible war continues each day, each hour, each moment, as you encounter the challenges life places before you, preparing you for the life you were meant to lead, shaping you into the person capable of achieving what you once thought impossible, equipping you with the strength, wisdom, and resilience required to fulfill the destiny that is waiting ready and yours to claim